Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady. Right, so today I'm going to bring you some good news for my Aussie crazies and a little bit of news for my American crazies. Right, so let's start with our Australian info. Right, breaking news for this one is that Spotlight are refilling their mill ends. So some Spotlight stores are refilling their mill end bags and the mill end bins. So before you rush out, check your mailing box, because in the catalogue that's just come out, that you'll find a voucher for 40% off mill end bags. Now, these mill end bags are normally priced at about $10, but in some stores you're going to be able to get them for less than $5, and even less with that code. Now, the mill end bag sale-ish, or the code at least, starts on the 5th of August and then runs for the week. Now, for those of you that are in lockdown still, phone your store. Tell them you've got the code. Tell them you'd like the yarn, and can they send it out to you? You never know. The saving that you're going to make on these anyway, it's going to be worth paying for it to get delivered. And surely some of these stores are going to be nice enough to do it. Right, now on to my next one. Right, my American crew. There is a little bit of gossip flying around on the internet that in some Michaels stores, their Carlton cotton cakes and other cotton cakes are on clearance. Now, they're not being marked with the normal stickers. Alright, so you're going to have to scan them to check them. But you could get them for anything between 74 cents up to $1.50. And you say Aldi yarn is good. These prices are amazing. So again, if you're able to get out and you want to go, make sure you're safe, mask up, and go and have some fun rooting around. See if you can find those deals. Check other things as well that are on the shelves, just on the off chance, because it looks like they've forgotten to put the sticker on, but they're happy for it to go through the till at the reduced price. Have fun. Now, for everyone else that's not been included in this, if you see any really cool deals that you'd be happy to share out with the rest of us, pop onto my Facebook group. There's the link in the description box below, and there's a whole section there that sort of says about discount yarn. You put the message in there, and if I'm able to use it and shout it out, I'll shout it out, and I might even pop your name up if you're happy for me to go, oh, so and so said. Alright, so on to the next item. As some of you know, my neighbour brought me around a load of charity shop books that she'd found. Now, there was one item that I really desperately wanted to make, which was in this Simply Stylish crochet. Now, I have started making it, but I have a big fat problem. That's the design I'm doing. Have any of you made this one? Because it's in English terms, I'm having to translate it over, and my dyslexic brain is going, what on earth, help, oh my gosh. So I've managed to write it out in American terms so that I can follow it easily, but I noticed on the first section there was a typo, and I noticed that because I was really lucky and I was able to use the corresponding chart that's there to double check what the written word was saying. So I found it easier working with that chart in the end. Now, there isn't a chart for the rows, was it rows 20 onward? Not 20, sorry, row 16 onwards. There's not a chart like that. Now, there's no stitch count at the end either for you to go back and check to make sure you've got it correct. So I'm now sitting at row 20, pulling my hair out, going, nothing adds up, because my repeats within the round are about 3 or 4 repeats short. Now, the repeat on the round covers about 6 or 7 stitches easy, so as you can imagine, that should be a massive chunk that I missed. So I've gone back 2 rows, I've gone back 3 rows, and even then I can't work it out. So if any of you have made it and can say to me, look, this is where you're going wrong, I would really appreciate it. Stick a message down the bottom, or again pop onto the Facebook group and message me on there, or stick a post up on there saying, oi, you're dopey. Yes, that would be absolutely brilliant. So due to that pattern, which is actually the one sitting here in blue, due to that absolutely frying my brain went on turbo shutdown, and it's like, no, I'm not playing, I'm not making nothing. So I was like, right, I'm just going to do a chain, I'm going to do a simple scarf backwards and forwards. When it came to joining in the like starting the first row of stitches from the chain, my brain went, nah, forget that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, come on, you've been doing this for donkeys, you know how to do it. Why isn't your brain and your hands working as a team? So in the end, I sat there and I'm like, hold on, I've read somewhere about a technique where you can do the chain and the first row at the same time. So I looked it up. It's true. And I did it. And even though my brain was like, what are you doing? All of a sudden it went from struggling for the first 5 or 6 stitches to knocking out a chain of over 200. Now I only needed 200, so I ended up stripping back about 40. But it was so much easier to do than the chain plus a row. So if you'd be interested in either the link to that or me knocking up a quick video, I'm happy to do it. Right, so last bit of info I can give you for this week is that I am waiting on my Aldi yarn order. Yeah, I did it. I was naughty. I've ordered a couple of bits from there. I don't want to spoil it for you, so when it arrives, which it says should be within 5 days of the start date of the event, so I've got about another 2 or 3 days left. So when it arrives, I'll get a video out to you as soon as possible with all those bits in. Now I did also go in store. I wanted to double check that they didn't have any other yarns on that they weren't advertising. Well, my local store didn't have any yarn at all. Didn't have any of the kits. Didn't even have the advertised yarn. Now, the lass on the till messaged through to her manager that his store didn't receive any yarn, and he didn't know whether they were going to either. Now, they had a lot of empty bins, and it appears that there was no craft items that turned up in that store. Now, normally our manager in our store is an absolute dream. He makes sure that he can get as much of everything that's needed. He really is a forward thinker. When we had localised flooding earlier on in the year, his store was the only one that you could still get the basics from. When we had the toilet roll shortage, I'll just put it like that, his store was pretty much the first store that stopped people bulk buying it. You were only allowed to pick up a certain amount, and he'd done that from prior to lockdown, prior to everybody running in and grabbing anything they could. He had ordered extra to cover the community, so it's not like he's sort of saying to me, no, I just didn't fancy covering it. It was the fact that he couldn't cover it. Right, I'm also waiting on some stuff from June. I'd put in an order for some more scissors because I'm fed up with using my kitchen ones on my yarn, so I was like, right, I'm going to get a couple of pairs, so at least then hopefully I won't lose them as quickly. There's also some other bits and pieces as well that are coming through from them, so I'm just going to stockpile them, and then once I've got them I'll do you a video there showing you all the new ones, and I'm hoping that the names on these ones aren't as bad as the ones from last time. Right, so I'm going to head off now and get on with some other bits and pieces. So if you can, stay in, stay safe, and I will see you all soon. Ta-ra for now.